Welcome everyone. So I finally went and tried out the Harrowstorm PTS update, and there were a lot of changes that I was really interested to see how they looked on the PTS, and all I can really say is I'm actually quite excited for this new patch. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how some of the new sets added to this game impact PvP, but in short, I honestly think we'll see less of a tank meta in this coming patch than we do right now, and that was not the first impression I got from looking at the PTS, but yeah. I think the cost of that, though, is that we're going to see a lot of people running very similar sets, even across Magicka and Stamina builds. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out, and it will be really interesting to see how some of these new and fixed abilities play out when it hits the live server. Of course, this is the patch where they're removing 30 gigabytes of spaghetti from the game code as well. So that will definitely have an impact on performance, but on the PTS, I couldn't really get a feel for that because, of course, there's nobody on the PTS. Personally, I'm really looking forward to playing my Necromancer. Blastbones has got some much needed fixes, and it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out, because it'll open up a lot of options for Necro that I think just didn't exist before. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the most interesting changes in this coming patch. So the first big one that I wanted to talk about was the changes to block. And ZeniMax had done a lot of work with block, but they essentially said that it should function the same, but visually it should look a little bit better with animation canceling, essentially not chopping off the animations when you cancel them every time. Now, I tried some stuff. The big thing that I noticed is that block does function the same in every aspect except for weapon swap. When you swap weapons, there's a bit of a delay after your block. But outside of that, block still functions the same when we're roll dodging, and it still allows us to block while using gap closers too, and that was one of the big ones for me. Animation canceling wise, when you swap cancel, it also feels the same too. Now, if we take a really close look at this piece of footage here, while I close the gap into my opponent, we still block the attack a few frames after visually it shows that our block has been dropped. So I think that this is mostly just a visual change, and gameplay-wise, we shouldn't see any difference. Now, on to the off-balance changes. So the way it's going to work now is you can set an opponent off-balance for 7 seconds, and then they're going to have 15 seconds of immunity to the off-balance. They can no longer purge the off-balance either. This is good and bad. I mean, when you land that off-balance stun, you're going to have a better, stronger combo to follow it up with. However, this is really going to hurt builds that rely on off-balance as kind of their primary stun. Now, Greatsword isn't going to be hit so hard because Greatsword is going to have the stun off the second dizzy landing now, so that's really awesome. At least we still retain the ability to set multiple opponents off balance, and the cooldown is only per target. Next up, we have got Blastbones, and Blastbones got some much needed fixes on the PTS. Just look at this thing. You summon it and it just hurls its body at your target. The range increase on it has helped a lot, and it just seems much more aggressive and much more willing to jump at targets than it was before. And yeah, the way this skill functions honestly really changes Necromancer for me. It's going to be much more reliable by the looks of it. And this really opens up playing a ranged Necromancer, especially something like a Bow Necromancer or a Staff Necro that, especially in PvP, I think would really struggle to make use of such a good skill like Blastbones. Yeah, this is one that I am really excited for. Necromancer is in a really good spot balance-wise if Blastbones works properly. So yeah, Necromancer looking to be pretty top tier in this coming patch. And Dragon Leap has been given a cast time. I'm just kidding. It's not actually a cast time. It's actually worse. It's hang time. A cast time suggests that you could cancel the ability early if you wanted to. Dragon Leap essentially just makes it so you're going to hang in the air regardless of the distance from your target. And we've got 3 leaps for you guys here to show, and each one of them is going to be at a different distance. And you can see the hang time between each leap is about the same. So this is just going to make it a little bit easier, I think, to respond to an enemy Dragon Leap. Yeah, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of cast times, hang times, stuff like that, but ZeniMax seems to want to go this direction. And I did test the Stonefist rework for Dragon Knight. Honestly, it feels like an interesting ability, but man, it's pretty underwhelming. It's not very good. The stun on it is not going to be very reliable. The damage on it isn't half bad though, so you know, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if people actually utilize it, but at least I gave it a shot. It was not for me. Now, moving on to the sets, I did want to take a look at / test a few sets, and the big one was, of course, the Major Berserk set when you break free. Yeah, it's going to add a lot of damage. I mean, just look at these tooltips we've got on the Templar. Onslaught in particular took a massive nerf on the tooltip. It says 16%, but my tooltip has gone down by a lot more than 16% in this patch. So Onslaught was definitely the hardest hitting single target burst ult. Probably a good change. That being said, this Berserk set is going to be incredible for solo PvP. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of opponents stunning you, and you're going to have a huge uptime on that Major Berserk. And the set gives max stam recovery, and then weapon and spell damage. So it works for Magicka or stamina builds. Mag builds, of course, will need that sustain in PvP nonetheless. But in my honest opinion, I actually kind of like this set. It offers a huge amount of spike damage to a build, but I do have some concerns about it. Namely, we're going to see how this works when tanks are running this set. They won't have as much base damage as some of the higher damage builds, though, so I think that, you know, this will be good for tank killing more so than it will be for tanks to utilize. That being said, I don't like that this set is so much more powerful than pretty much every other option, especially for solo PvP. 25% damage is a huge damage increase. To have that up half the time is a massive spike increase. Honestly, it's really hard to justify another damage set over this one. So I would love to hear what you guys think about this set in particular and how you think it will affect PvP. And the other set I really wanted to take a look at was the Ashen Grip set. Look at that tooltip, man. Fire damage every 4 seconds off a melee attack. This is like an AoE proc set, and that tooltip, this is on a white piece of gear with no champion points in it. Yeah, man, I honestly think that this will be a very popular set in the new patch as well. So there you have it, guys. Those are my impressions after getting on the PTS and testing out some of this stuff myself. Like I said, I am really looking forward to playing my Necromancer in this new patch. I love playing my Necromancer on live right now, and with the fixes to Blast Bones, man, it is going to be top tier. I'm just saying it. I'm feeling it. I just know. Anyway, I would love to hear what you guys think about everything in this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you want to send in clips for the top 5 or send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send that to ChristopherESO@hotmail.com. If you guys are interested in live content, you can check out my Twitch, a link in the description below. Give me a follow on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with my shenanigans. If you guys are interested in fully written guides to my builds, you can check it out on my website, ChristopherESO.com. It is also a hub for all of my ESO content. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first 30 days via the link in the description below. And last but not least, guys, if you really love the show and you want to help support it, you can always become a patron on Patreon. Without you guys' help, I wouldn't be doing this job, so a big thank you to everybody for choosing to help out. A big thank you to everybody just for tuning in and watching today. And as always, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you next time.